Global Familia, welcome to Chatted Dogs episode 9. Glad to have you on board. And we have another special guest with us today. Oweezy, welcome.
PD, my main man. Always good to be
Yes,
here. What's
we
happening?
have good and you, man. What's happening? We have
Good.
Bandit on the show today from Melbourne, Australia.
Well then, good day, mate. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
And he's going to come give us some tips and give us some interesting facts about internet security in our own homes. And I think it's going to be quite exciting. So without further ado, Bandit, welcome to the show, brother. Nice to have you
Welcome,
here.
Bandit.
Thanks, P-Dog.
Yeah.
Thanks, so easy. Glad to be on the show. I think today we're just going to be talking about internet security or cyber security, as most people call it. And I think this is probably more applicable to families where, mums, dads, kids, what your kids watching, what are they doing online on their devices, iPads, phones, and that sort of stuff. So we're going to I'm going to talk through a couple of things that covers, what are your kids doing?
I think that's great, Bandit, because, it's important. I think people are very complacent about what's happening around them. I know my kids as well, downloading things I didn't even realize they had, or chatting this, that. And it's things that as a parent, you want to be on top of. You want to know what's happening because you need to protect everyone that's under your roof. And you want to ensure that whatever tools you're using, internet security, firewalls, whatever, I don't even know the terminology. It's important to be guided. And I think that's why we're glad to have you on the show. And for those hints and tips, right, Oweezy?
Yes. As PD said, I think, Bandit, welcome to the show. Good to have you here. From what I understand and going through your resume off air earlier, you are an expert in the field. So, Chatter Dogs, once again, bringing you the proper people from the proper fields, giving you proper advice. And I think this show is particularly important because it lends itself out to quite a broad audience. You're looking at the parents with the younger kids, trying to protect them from everything on the internet, but at the same time you're also looking at companies and conglomerates also trying to protect their databases. And I know, Bandit, we're not going to go into too much detail, but you did mention you work for some classified organizations, or you were part of projects of some really classified work that you're not allowed to, or if you told us, you'd have to kill us.
Silence! I kill you!
But if you could maybe just elaborate sort of on the projects and the type of how important it was to those organizations, what they're trying to protect, and the steps that they took. That would be quite important to know, that this isn't just household per household, but it's rather company, maybe even country, national security. Bandit, please take us through it.
Okay, sure. So look, I've done some work, classified work for different organizations, defense-based and in the utilities space and banking and stuff around security. And I always thought to myself, these guys practice, all these frameworks of security around zero trust, IUU, sort of thing. And yet, in the home life, we don't do that, right? We have an internet modem or router that sits there. That's essentially the front door to our house.
Makes sense.
You put a security gate on your door at home, but nobody thinks about who comes in and who goes out of the internet modem or the router. So that's my focus, right? Is help to give people visibility of what's happening there. Because if you don't have visibility, you don't know what's happening, right? You don't know, you can't put anything in place to block or whatever. So think of it like a camera, right? You put a camera there to detect things. Once you know things are happening, then you put up a fence, you put up different sort of things to block access. So we start. So that's my approach, right? Is to and not just with families, but think about people who go and buy a security camera at the local shop, right? And they come home and they start fitting off these Wi-Fi cameras and think, great, I can see what's going on in my house. But now what you've just done is you just punched another hole in your router that goes to the internet that could potentially give someone access to it. So It's
That's
thinking
crazy.
about all those things, right? All the digital
Mm.
things you have in your house are essentially tools to allow external people to, use them as an entrance point. So yeah, so it's the knowledge and the understanding that it's possible, it does happen. What can you do to make sure that you stay safe?
So Bandit, is it that easy to actually hack into one's residential house router system, internet setup? Is it that simple? I mean, you're saying it opens doors and by adding Wi-Fi cameras, more doors, but is it that simple? I mean, or is it actually you need someone that's like got some heavy mad skills of hacking to be able to do it, or is it actually not as difficult as what we think it is as the
Yeah.
layman?
I think you got to remember in the terms of security, you always look at the weakest point in the chain, and that's always human beings, right? The way we do things, the way we react, um, and our procedure in doing things. So the human being is always the weakest point in the chain. A lot of us don't change our passwords, right? We take the thing out of the box, we set it up, we keep the standard username, admin, password, 123. Simple stuff like that, right?
You
Is is
just you
is
just you just you just found my password, bro.
exactly
I need
it's
to
make
change it now.
To your bank account, I hope.
Yes, shh, man.
so yeah, you're just making the job easier of the person who's trying to infiltrate and get in.
Yeah.
So simple stuff like that, right? And also knowing, people who are malicious, who have malicious intent, are looking for, you know, loopholes and weak points within your network, and they'll probe, right? You probably don't know they're probing because you don't have visibility yet. But if I was to give you that visibility, you'll see, wow, what's all this stuff going on? Um, I mean, one guy came to my house one day and asked if he can use my Wi-Fi. Didn't realize, that I'm actually, monitoring all this stuff. And I started getting alerts saying, what's going on with your phone, dude? Your phone's connecting to Uzbekistan, to Russia. There's like 180 connections going to different places.
Jeez.
And he's just using Facebook.
Wow.
All the ads and
Wow.
stuff, it connects to places. So no, you didn't know that when I showed him, like, hey man, your phone has got 180 active connections outside of my house.
And
He
we
was
we
like,
do
oh,
that all the time. Yeah, we do that all the time. You have a guest, yeah, use a Wi-Fi password, don't stress, it's uncapped, no problem. So you
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
actually saying we actually creating more issues by doing things like that. We being
yes, yes.
it's like giving a key to your house to everybody. Like, hey, yeah,
You
everyone
hit
free for all.
the nail on the head there, because essentially you're giving your Wi-Fi password to your friend who now is using it. So now you don't know what his device is, or what software he's got running, or what malicious things could be running on his device. So yeah, you've created a weak point within your network, and you could be exposed. And yeah, so it's so thinking about things like that, maybe you want to give them guest access, right, where they can just connect to the internet but not have access to any of your stuff. There's ways you can do that, and that's what I'm here to help educate people on how to do stuff like that, and potentially, sell and consult with solutions that gives them maybe more than that. So that's
So
That's
Ben,
it.
what you're saying is this can be tailor made on specific different levels. You've got the person that can come in and browse around, and then you've got some more serious artillery in the back that will stop the crackers and jackers from trying to take your database and hold it for ransom and only return it back to you if you pay them in bitcoins and dollars and all sorts of other cryptos, because this is the stories I'm hearing out there, PD. People are saying that the databases have been hijacked. You'll get an email where people openly confess, I'm a Chinese hacker. I've taken your database, pay me the ransom, I'll release it. How and what do you do? Do you go to the cops? Is there software for this? It starts becoming it could be a big problem. And when you're talking national defense, I don't even know the sort of problems they want to deal with. Are they launching nukes on the country's behalf? I don't know. Please
But
tell us.
easy, exactly that. But I've heard of so many big companies that have actually closed down because of this
Wow.
this hijacking of data and information that they haven't backed up. They haven't done a whole bunch of things,
Yes,
and
yes.
they can't operate. They can't operate, so they have to actually close their doors, shut down because of these type of threats that
Wow.
are out there.
And I saw
Bandit.
something in the waves and in the net. Yeah, Bandit, please help us.
So yeah, look, my business and myself, I consult and I sell products that they cater from everything from what you just said, to from someone just wanting to monitor what the kids are doing to enterprise grade security, right? Where everything's on lockdown. No one's getting in or out without your permission or authority. So and it depends on the use case and it depends on the budget, right? Certain people don't want to spend. Nobody wants to spend money on security until they become a victim, right? Someone stole something or hacked them. Now I need to go crazy. And yes, it's great. Business is good when things are bad, right? Because people are paranoid. Oh, who's got my stuff? Who's looking at my data? And they'll go crazy. They'll spend anything. And it's your business has thrived. So yeah, I'm just conscious around, and I'm trying to be the good guy, right? That I'm not going to sell you something you don't need, right? Like depends on what you're after. So I'll talk to you from the kids' point of view, right? So initially, I started in the domestic space where the use cases were around how do I see what my kids are doing? How do I make sure they're not going to sites that's inappropriate for them? How do I control that? And I thought, okay, there's a good use case. There's not many products out there that can do that. There are some, but there's apps you got to install. You got to pay a subscription. We all know Nortons and those sort of guys, and yeah, they're not good. So I thought, you know what? There's actually only one point of ingress and egress, right? It's your front door. Secure that, and you secure everything. I mean, the same goes for physical security as well. Got a good, strong front door, security gate.
Makes
No one's
sense.
coming in, right?
No one's
So that,
coming in.
and to me, that's the router or the router, as you guys call it. And what can you do? What configuration can you do on that device to keep you safe? And that's where I come in, right? I'll help you understand what you need to protect yourself against. And it's not just about attacks, right? Let's just talk about things like YouTube. I got kids. I'm sure you guys have kids too.
Yeah.
Daughter was watching YouTube, and over the course of a week, she developed an American accent because she's watching kids doing stuff and just talking about diapers and everything. And I was like, what? And just YouTube keeps going, right? If you keep watching stuff, it keeps recommending based on what you're watching. And it never ends. So you could innocently start watching something, and in the end, it becomes something totally different. And that's a hard thing to stop, right? So there are things you can put in place with things like YouTube, where you can enable restricted mode, where you can block them from using YouTube completely and just use like YouTube Kids, where stuff's curated specifically for the child's age group. Things like that, right? They easy wins that block a lot of bad content. There's the YouTube safe search, right? So let's say your child innocently types in the word fun in or types the word gun in the search bar when they meant fun, right? He or she's gonna see something that you probably don't want them to see, right? They can see weapons or whatever.
True.
Exactly.
And that brings you the full blown naked truth, literally speaking.
So there's the safe search which you can enable, which can block the results of the search, right, based on the content. So they can type in whatever they want, and they're just going to see whatever boring thing they thought they meant. So again, another quick configuration switch, and you can block a lot of that content or those links that can take them to potentially more explicit content, right? So things like that. There's the other one where this back in the day, right, when we all had data cap plans where I only got 20 gigs, don't use my data. Who's using all the data? Or why can't I back in someone's gaming or pulling all the bandwidth? So yeah, let give you some visibility of who's using what, right? Someone, little Johnny on his iPad in the room there is streaming, Twitter videos or YouTube videos, and he's on Twitch and he's doing a whole bunch of stuff, and he's basically using 50% of your bandwidth. There's controls you can put in place that can stop that, right? Or can reduce it so that if you maybe working from home parent trying to do work or trying to stream or you're trying to attend a WebEx, whatever, you can get stuff like that done. So it's the monitoring aspect of what's happening inside your network that you actually don't know. You turned on a
Okay.
device, you gave your Wi-Fi password, you connected it, and you think everything's fine, but actually it's not.
No.
Okay, Bandit, if I could just quickly jump in there. So what you've basically mentioned so far is a lot of easy configurations. That all sounds software related, but obviously going through your resume earlier, you quite experienced and got an extensive work career in the IT field. Are you able also to advise on the hardware aspect? Do I need to go get additional CPU processing power and new hard drives with the SSD this and better monitor
Well, are
screens?
you trying to do
Is there
Bitcoin
a
mining,
hardware?
Louise?
Is there hardware? Is there hardware I need to spend money on to make sure I'm secure?
Yeah,
So look,
that is
Apart from
important.
the software side, where we know there's hardware and software, the two go together. I'm just trying to understand: am I in for more cost?
potentially yes. So yeah, look, there's I do sell hardware as well. That's tailor specific to security. Around the firewalling aspect of that. I do it at a low cost. So my model here is I ship you a device, right? It's a low cost device that you just take and you plug in, right? There's nothing much to it than just that, right? You can then either call me up or you can follow the simple instructions, and then you get an app on your phone and you can start controlling things, right? I wanted to make it as simple as possible.
Does it connect to your router? Your router. I'm just
Yeah, so
thinking
so
about it.
basically it goes in line, right? So your existing router stays there. This thing
Yes.
plugs between it, right? So it just acts
Okay.
as it sits in between your router and your network, and then basically looks at the traffic that traverses back and forth.
So it's like it's a mini computer that manages the what it's your front door. It's your
The risk
security gate.
manages the risk.
Correct.
It's your security gate,
Yeah.
managing
So
who's going in and
basically,
who's going out.
yeah. So most routers already have a firewall capability built in, but it's very limited, and most people don't know how to configure it.
No,
So my
no.
No,
approach
absolutely
was,
no.
let's move that function off onto something that's a lot better, and then we configure that. And that's my model, right? Is I move your firewall onto a device that I could potentially sell you, and you configure it from there through an easy to use iPhone or Android based app that says, YouTube on or off or between these hours, and you can see what's happening on your network. So yeah, that's keep it simple. That's my model.
Okay.
I
So
like that.
Bandit, do you have is there a link that we can share with our viewers in this episode to show them exactly how it works? I'm sure there's videos or exactly how this system of yours works, because I think it is important to make people understand that there are other options that will help them protect their loved ones. And not just plug and play. Oh, there's Wi-Fi, go play, leave me alone type of thing. That you can actually monitor and make sure that whatever they're doing in their rooms or wherever they are, that they're still being protected.
Yeah, look, I can send you a bunch of links that can point you to some stuff. I mean, because I consult in the space, I'm not going to just sell hardware down to you. Depends on your need. You might just only want to do one out of the 100 potential things that I cover. So then, we'll just cater for that need, right? Then you don't need anything else. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. No, Bandit from Cyberdyne Solutions. A very cool name, very very funky name, and I must say, you've really opened my eyes here, Bandit. I need to relook at my setup here at home. Oezy, I'm sure you as well.
Absolutely.
We have kids,
Bennett, if
and
I could just
we need to
put
make
you
sure that
one
they're
one
protected.
yeah. Bennett, I just wanted to find out one thing. We've seen movies where artificial intelligence takes over and wages war against mankind and all these funny things.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And that's all great for TV and show and that. And I'm a real fan of those type of movies. But tell me realistically, in your professional expertise, how far is our current technology away from something like that? Is artificial intelligence, can it become self-aware? or is it really still behind the brain of an actual intelligent human brain that's still running the show and still controlling things? I don't want my car transforming into something because it wants to become a fridge or start fighting with PD's toaster. I just want that peace of mind. Are we still safe with AI essentially?
For the moment, yes. I mean, it's a scary thought, right? If you look at things like ChatGPT and stuff like that, we are headed
Absolutely.
into unknown territory around AI and what it can do.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, for the moment, I think we're okay. But watch the space. If you guys promise to host me again, I'll be quite keen to show you a live demonstration of how I can, hack socials and show people just how easy it is for me to get information about them and use it to my advantage. So
I think that's definitely something we need to consider, Weezy, in a future episode. So because everyone lives in their dream world. I'm fine. You just hear of the stories. Never happens to me. But if we can get Bandit to show them how easy it is to hack into their social media and the like, it might just create some more further awareness. Which is important. But I think going back to AI is on everyone's the tip of their tongues these days, and it is real. I believe that it's real. I believe there's a lot of money being thrown into research and development for AI. I think in the next 5 years we're going to see a lot in terms of AI. What's going to be happening? How it's going to change everyone's lives. So I think you're in the right space, Bandit. You're there. You're in the forefront. You know what's happening. And you need to just keep us up to date and let us know as soon as you're aware of anything so we can relay the message over to our viewers in the future.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes. Bandit, thank you so much for your time and for that expertise, the professional advice. It was most helpful. You've also put my nerves and my mind at ease that AI is still under check and under control for now. And then that's okay for now. But PD, do you have any last thoughts that you'd like to share with the viewers?
I just want to ask Bandit, because the space that you're in, it's exciting and all that. For anyone that's wanting to play in that same space, do you have any inspiring words for them, or do you want to give them any guidance in 10 seconds? Just tell them what they must do, what they must look out for, or is it the way to go? And what are your thoughts in that regard?
Yeah, definitely. It is the way to go. It's the future. I mean, there's a lot of content online that you can go and read about and stuff. And I mean, that's how I keep up to date as well. So, I mean, yeah, just if that's something you're passionate about, then pursue it and go for it. It's security has always been in the back of our minds and at the hearts of what a lot of big companies and corps do. And yeah, it'll always be a moneymaker.
I agree.
Well, there we
go.
All right.
I'm sorted on my side. Bandit, it's been great and a pleasure to have you on board. Thank you for staying up late and taking a bit of your sleep time away, your beauty sleep, to come and share your thoughts with us. We really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thanks, PD.
Shout out to Cyberdyne.
Yeah, big up to Cyberdyne. Oh, Weezy. You have to tell our final goodbyes, bro. That's how it runs.
Well, to everyone that watched, thank you so much for your time. As Jay-Z says, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. This is Bandit, P-Dog, and Weezy saying peace out and take it easy.
Take it easy. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
3, 2, 1.